All right, so good day, everyone. I am Dr. John Erickson Policarpio, and first and foremost, I would like to thank Limay Polytechnic College for inviting me to speak in front of hundreds of students today. And I would like to especially thank your college president, Dr. Elmer De Leon, for this invitation. Thank you, Doc, for allowing me or for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of everybody. So, I am tasked to deliver a lecture on boosting entrepreneurship skills development in the new normal environment. I believe it is a very important skill that we really need to imbibe as business administration students since, as what we all know, in the near future, you guys will be the catalyst of change in making an economic impact in the Philippine business sector. So, by creating this impact, we have to improve ourselves in terms of understanding what entrepreneurship really means. Okay, so without further ado, I will start my discussion with the following topics. So today we will be covering different topics such as entrepreneurship as a discipline, the current picture of entrepreneurship here in our country, as well as a very exciting topic, which is entrepreneurship in the AI world. So as what we all know, we are now moving towards uh, somehow the fifth industrial revolution, wherein artificial intelligence is now existing and coexisting with the human being, and also skill requirements for a new entrepreneur, particularly for Filipino entrepreneurs, and some key takeaways on this discussion. Okay, so let's start. So start first by understanding the definition of entrepreneurship. So I believe in your classes, you already have discussed this, probably during your senior high school or even in college, on what entrepreneurship really means. And there are a lot of definitions coming in, and they are somehow expounding the context of entrepreneurship, not just as a discipline or not just as a practice, but also as a way of life of people. Okay. So I would bank on these two um, definitions given by that's Global Economic Monitor, that's GEM, right? Okay, and Ahmad and Fan in 2007. Okay, so let's start with the first definition. So entrepreneurship is any attempt at new business or new venture creation, such as self-employment, a new business organization, or an expansion of an existing business by an individual, a team, or an established business. So meaning to say in this context, it from the word new, okay, new business or new venture creation, meaning to say we are creating something out of scratch. Okay. Entrepreneurship is basically created from the ground up. Okay. It requires skills on developing a new concept, a new business idea that will be beneficial for the future, that will be beneficial for the future consumers. Okay. Also, entrepreneurship focuses on an establishment of an organization, coming up with an organization. They always say that no man is an island, and it is true in entrepreneurship. Okay, even though there are somehow sole proprietorship type of business or OPCs, like one person, OPCs or one person corporation, it doesn't mean to say that you will be working alone. You really need to build your team. You really need to build an organization with you. Okay, um, it might be an organization of two or more people, okay, coming up together, building the entire business structure, or it might be outsourced, okay, outsourced to a different service provider. Okay, so sometimes right now, especially with the United States and other countries, they are trying to outsource different talents or offshoring type of business to um offshoring some of their departments to other countries so that they can basically lessen the cost. Okay. Also, entrepreneurship on the context of Ahmad and Hoffman is basically a human action in pursuit of value generation. I want to highlight the keyword value generation. Okay. Value is basically subjective. Okay. Every person, every individual has its own perception of what value is. Okay. And value is basically something that can be derived on how people perceive your products and services or your basically your innovation as a business, okay? Through the creation or expansion of economic activity, okay? Creation and expansion. Why do I have to highlight creation and expansion? When we put up a business, we don't just put up a business for the sake of it operating for a certain period of time, but rather we want to see the strategic vision of our business as we move forward. Okay, there is the opportunity for expansion in this. Okay, you always have to bear in mind as entrepreneurs that there should always be an expansion. It might be an additional branch for your business. It might be a franchising model, a future franchising model for your business, or it might be an expansion of the products and services that you're offering, or an expansion of the market that you will be serving. Okay, so you can do this creation and expansion of economic activities by exploiting new products, processes, or diving into a new market segment. Okay, I want to share my personal experience. Okay, also in terms of entrepreneurship, I am also an entrepreneur. Before I entered the academy, so I started my career in the tourism and hospitality business as a hotelier. So I started as a hotelier. I work with different 4 and 5 star hotels here in the Philippines. Um, Most of them are local brands. And basically, I work with them as part of the sales and marketing department. So I became the head of sales and marketing department. Okay, and I've worked with different hotels for 5 years. After that, I finished my master's degree in business administration, and basically I started to move towards the other side of the fence. That's what they always say. Actually, from being a hotelier, I transferred and moved and take that venture of being a tour operator and a travel agent. So I put up my own travel agency. It's J Innovate Travel and Tours. It was founded in 2015, and I served a number of corporate and leisure markets. Okay, so during that time, I started the humble beginnings of my travel agency. But it started as a ticketing service. So I only operate by um issuing air tickets, um, tawag dito, air tickets, bus tickets, even bus tickets, as well as tawag dito, yung to go, no? So seat travel din offer din tayo before. And then some common tours, okay, common destinations like Boracay, Palawan, the usual tours that we can cater to most of the tourists. And then sooner or later, gradually, um I focus on the vision of my brand, which is to innovate tours, okay, and innovate travel solutions. So how do I innovate travel solutions? By then, um, I have tried to capture the corporate market and create a corporate travel portfolio management for them. So basically, there are corporate clients that I have handled before, and I used um to create the travel portfolio for them. So meaning to say all of their travel requirements for their employees, may it be for business or for leisure, I handle all of those requirements. Okay. So I started small as a travel agency, and it's basically the travel agency lasted for 3 years. It's a very lucrative business. Because on the first year, um luckily, nag-ROI yung negosyo. Okay? Travel agency banks on network. Okay? It banks on effective networking skills and banks on effective marketing skills. Okay? So you don't need a lot of inventory. Basically, you don't have an inventory. You just rely on the current inventory of different hotels, different travel agencies, and different tour operators, and different um, inventories of airlines, okay, and transportation sector. And basically, you basically become the middleman and sell all of this as a package tours or as an individual service, and even travel documentations like passport and visa processing. So ika nga nila, laway lang ang puhunan sa travel agency. Okay? And that's true. Okay? You basically have a low capitalization, so it's easier for you to get your return on investment. Okay? So, madali lang siyang gawin. However, I put that business on a halt mainly because I joined the academe for good. Okay, so I joined the academe and become part of um, taken some professorial works. Okay, and right now I'm happy to say that after I finished my doctorate degree in business administration, um, starting this June, the Innovate Travel and Tours will be back. So me and my fiance are actually starting this business again, and we want this to be on a different level naman. Okay. Um, Again, I just want to highlight that when you move towards entrepreneurship, it requires you to be more positive. It requires more positive views on things. It requires you to focus on the future, okay? Lean towards what's going to be in the future and be visionary, okay? Always have to innovate. Innovation is the key to success in entrepreneurship, okay? Now, since we're talking about diving into the business in the context of entrepreneurship, I want to highlight the current picture of what's with us right now in the business industry. So you guys as college students, okay, soon to graduate, okay, you're still covered by RA 10679. There is already an initiative done by the Philippine government. It's called the Youth Entrepreneurship Act, which was promulgated on August 27 of 2015. This basically rationalizes on the promotion of sustained development for young Filipinos whose aptitude and skills in the field of finance and entrepreneurship shall be encouraged and honed through education and specialized training programs. That is why if you're going to, especially for those who have taken their senior high school track, particularly in ABM, you have noticed that there are subjects such as entrepreneurial skills development or entrepreneurial mindset for Filipinos because it's part of the specialized and formal training programs for entrepreneurship in response to Youth Entrepreneurship Act. Okay. Also in college, when you go to especially right here in business administration courses, right? You're required to understand entrepreneurship at a deeper level. Okay? Especially, kagaya rin namin, no? So, sa graduate program, sa master's, and even sa doctorate program, may entrepreneurship subject pa doon. But, mas higher order thinking yung ginagamit. Okay? I remember in my doctorate degree, I have a course which is and entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship. Okay, so that basically focuses on entrepreneurs, meaning to say those people who are self-employed, coming up with new business solutions, putting up business on their own, while entrepreneurship was the other way around. They're basically employees who acts like entrepreneurs inside a certain business. Okay, so the development of entrepreneurship doesn't just focus on just putting up your self-employed business, but also entrepreneurship skills are also essential while you are inside the organization. I believe that most of you after you graduate you have you will be finding your job, okay? Kasi sabi nga natin dito sa Philippines, most of the Filipinos are studying in order for them to find job, okay? In order for them to fill in a certain position right after they graduate. That's the common mindset of Filipinos. But in business schools right now, especially you guys, you are lucky that you belong to a very good institution. We have to change this kind of mindset. Okay? We study, we learn different techniques in business school because we want to go out there and venture and come up with our own businesses. Okay? So it is essential that you have to put everything into practice. Okay? Well, lahat ng pinag-aralan ninyo for 4 years in college should be put into practice and come up with your own business. Okay? Pero syempre, because of the uh, economic situation of our country, and basically we are a developing country. We don't say third world, but rather we say developing country, right? We can see that um, entrepreneurial skill can be developed while you are inside an organization. So if you get to be hired for a position, you don't have to focus on what tasks and responsibilities are already at hand. You also still have to be innovative and come up with different solutions and think like an entrepreneur while you are inside the organization. And that is what we call as entrepreneurship. Okay. Now, in terms of the current picture, like what I'm discussing, no? In 2014, there's a 2014 data coming from Global Entrepreneurship Monitor. Um, it's basically 6.2 of the adult population in the Philippines are fully engaged in entrepreneurial activity. Okay, so during that time, it's around 100 million Filipinos. That's 6.2 million Filipinos are engaged in entrepreneurship. Okay, and 18% of which are engaged in early stage entrepreneurship. When we say early stage entrepreneurship, this is basically yung startup, kung tawagin natin. People who are starting up their own business. Okay? Oh, by the way, when we talk about entrepreneurship, it doesn't go with age. Okay? Um, as early as, di ba, yung mga bata nga ngayon, parang in the US, as early as 10, 11 years old, they're already selling stuff. Okay? Entrepreneurship is a way of life. Okay? You guys right now, at some point in time, you get to sell, you get to promote, you get to uh, uh, transact a certain product on a market, right? So basically, we are already forming our entrepreneurial skills, okay, at an early stage. And basically, here in our country, medyo hindi pa ganun kalaki yung ating um tawag dito, yung ating kakayahan in terms of starting up our own business. Okay. Take note that this data was in 2014 and basically it have already improved right now during 2023 because as what you can see, dumaan tayo sa pandemic wherein people tends to shift their mindset from being an employee to becoming a business owner, right? Ang daming nag-live selling, ang daming um, tawag dito, nag-open ng mga stores nila sa Shopee, sa Lazada, 'di ba? Ang daming naging influencer, ang daming naging vloggers, and those are basically part of entrepreneurship. Okay? However, sabihin na natin 18% are in early stage entrepreneurship. Here in our country, okay, in 2014, I think mas lalo pa 'tong lumaki. Ano? Um, the business discontinuance rate is at 12.6%. It is far beyond the ASEAN average, which is 4.8%. So meaning to say, marami tayong startups, pero hanggang startup lang. Okay? Hindi natatapos, hindi nasusustain, hindi na-fulfill, hindi napapatagal. Okay? Um, Take one good instance here in Parañaque. Um, we have already noticed it here in particularly in BF Homes, no, in Aguirre. Aguirre is known to be the food strip, like parang yung maginhawa street ng um Quezon City. Okay? And basically, you get to see a lot of stores there, a lot of food businesses. And every single time, every year, may nagbubukas at mayroong nagsasara. Okay? Marami yung kakabukas pa lang tapos after a few months or after a few years, magkasara sila. Okay? Or magre-rebrand sila, magka-come up sila ng panibago. Kasi, tawag dito, maraming challenges. Okay? When you're putting up a business, it doesn't mean to say na nag-spark sa utak mo na, oh, buksan natin 'to, gusto ko 'tong ganito, mag-open tayo ng food business. And then, ah, 'pag bumaba na yung sales or hindi na kumita or basically hindi na uso, 'di ba, nawawala, okey? Nawawala rin yung negosyo, okey? Marami tayong nakitang ganyang examples during the time ng pandemic, 'di ba? Ang dami ang sumakay sa kung tinatawag nating fad volume, okey? If your business focuses on fad volume or yung dahil sikat lang, 'di ba, in due time mawawala rin yung negosyo. So, you are required to diversify, okey? I want to put that keyword, diversify your product or diversify your market, okey? When you say diversify your product, you are basically coming up with different product lines, okay? So that if product A fails, product B can still thrive in the uh, market in the business market, okay? The other one is you diversify also in terms of your market. Meaning to say, if you're focusing on student markets right now, somehow the products can also be covering another type of market. Let's say, for instance, student market ang focus mo, and then sooner or later you focus or you diversify the market of this product towards family markets. Okay? So, um, so that when one market fails to provide, let's say, for instance, student market, syempre kapag sem break o kaya bakasyon, wala yung mga yan, etong market segment na to ang magsa-suffice doon sa product mo. Okay? So, in terms of entrepreneurship, there is also a requirement for you to diversify. Okay? In order for you to avoid this discontinuance. Okay? Imagine mo na lang napakaraming businesses ang hindi na nagtumutuloy after its first year. Okay? Mainly because number one, nalulugi, o kaya number two, hindi pala nila yung passion, 'di ba? Sooner or later, kasi ang entrepreneurship is also about coming up with an innovation that is close to your heart, that is close to what you really want. Okay? Um, I happen to be a graduate of tourism, hence the business that I want to focus more is on travel and tours. Kasi yun naman talaga yung, kumbaga, passion ko and at the same time, yun din yung profession ko. Okay? So, you guys, when you start your business, the focus is always on what fuels your passion, what fuels your desire. Okay? Also, I want to highlight this. 66% of Filipinos believe that entrepreneurial skills are needed in order for them to start a business. Lucky and masaya, no? 66% naniniwala na kailangan daw talaga ng tamang entrepreneurial skills bago ka makapag-start up. Kaso, 89.5% of these people did not receive any formal entrepreneurial training. Okay? Sad to say, madami po ang nagbubukas ng negosyo for the sake of coming up with a business for them to survive. Okay? And sometimes, pag nakasurvive na sila doon, okay na, sara na natin yung negosyo. Okay? So, formal entrepreneurship training is required in order for you to come up with a sturdy business solution. Okay? Take note, now when you open up a business, you are creating an impact to a society. You are creating an impact to your community. So once you close your business, it will also create an impact to these people. Example, magbukas tayo ng sari-sari store sa isang community, sa isang barangay. And definitely that sari-sari store, okay? Yung mga tao diyan bibili, 'di ba? So, pabili po ng shampoo, pabili po ng ganito, pabili po ng ganyan, okey? And then some other time, sabihin na natin nakakaluwag-luwag na kayo, okey, kumita na yung sari-sari store, na-sustain niyo na siya, tapos nagkaroon na ng trabaho si ganito, napa-graduate na ng nanay niyo si ganyan, na may trabaho na, nasusustentuhan na. Tapos mapapansin ninyo pakonti ng pakonti yung paninda, okey? So, hanggang sa anong mangyayari, pakonti ng paninda hanggang sa magsara. 'Pag nagsara yun, siyempre yung customer base niya mawawalan na ngayon. Kumbaga yung demand para dun sa store na yun naging zero. So, ang gagawin nila, maghahanap na naman sila ng panibagong sari-sari store na pupuntahan. So, it creates an impact to daily lives of people. Take note that when you open a business, you don't just create an impact for yourself, you're also creating an impact for your community. Okay? So, when you close down your business, it will also affect the people that you are serving. Okay? So, it's not just about your survival, but also the survival of your community. Always take note of that. Okay? Here are some of the challenges that most Filipino youth entrepreneurs are facing. And these are the common challenges that we can see. Okay? Lack of financial support. Okay? Maraming creative ideas, business solutions na nakikita ko. During that time na uupo ako sa panel at manonood ako ng mga business plan presentations, natutuwa ako kasi napaka-innovative ng mga estudyante. They tend to create new solutions to a perennial problem. Okay? Pero ang problema, walang pera, no? Hindi natin ma-come up kasi walang kapital. And also, sad to say here in the Philippines, napakahirap mag-loan sa bangko, mag-loan ng pang-startup, no? Sabihin na natin merong mga policies ang government, okay, about these loan programs and all, but the chances of you getting it is quite stiff pa din, no? Hindi pa rin siya gano'n kadali. Parang simple lang naman 'yan, eh. Kung mabagbale sa Pilipinas, 'di ba? Kapag kailangan mo ng valid ID, kailangan mo mag-present ng isa pa ng another valid ID. Or kung naghahanap ka ng trabaho at new graduate ka, ang hinahanap nila lagi ay yung may experience. So, paano ka magkaka-experience kung ang requirement ay kailangan ng trabaho nila ay may job experience, 'di ba? Doesn't make sense at all. Okay? So, lack of financial support here in the Philippines, medyo somehow, no, it's one of the challenges of our country. Compared to other developed nations, where it's easier for you to get your loans, loan grants, um, without paying a hefty sum of interest, okay, that might affect your business in the future. And also, ang Pilipino, no, sorry to say, sorry to hurt other feelings. Um, when we loan something, we loan for pleasure and not for the pain. Why did I say that? A lot of people will be loaning money for house improvement. They will be loaning money for tawag dito, um, they will be loaning money for vacation, 'di ba? But a few people, and those kind of loans are easier to acquire. Okay? Napakadaling ma-acquire nun, 'di ba? Yung mga housing loan, ganito, yung mga ano 'to, personal loan, salary loan, madaling ma-acquire 'yan. Pero kapag yung mga loans for long-term pains, Filipinos love to loan for short-term pleasure compared to long-term pain. Pero yung mga loans like business loans, tawag dito, yung mga loans for expansion for your business, et cetera, napakadaming hinihingi, no? Audited financial statement, may mga ganyan-ganyan. 'Di ba, yung projections, yung business plan, yung feasibility ninyo, hihintay pa yan ng bangko, all of and, well, basically, it makes sense for the bank operations, but definitely, it will really hurt the people na, alam mo yun, gusto namin mag-come up ng innovation, but we can't define or we can't push this innovation because we lack financial support, okay? So I hope that you guys, when you graduate and be part of the business sector, um, let's make it easy for people to start up their own business. Okay? When people start up their own business, you give them a chance to learn on surviving and thriving, okay, in this economic arena. Okay? Like what I've said earlier, maraming information or maraming policies ang government pagdating sa grants or whatsoever na meron ang gobyerno. The problem is there is poor information dissemination. Hindi nakakarating sa tamang tenga or sa tamang mata yung mga information about grants, about loans, and all of those. Sabihin na natin na po-post na sa social media, meron na dito ganyan. whatsoever. But the mere fact that people have problems in terms of availment of this kind of loans and grants, basically that boils down to the root cause, that is poor information dissemination. And lastly, there is a poor provision training for expanding and sustaining businesses. Napakaraming trainings, napakaraming setup like this na sasabihin na, okay, the entrepreneur is you. Okay? You are an entrepreneur. Sa bawat bahagi ng buhay mo ay entrepreneur ka. Okay, fine. The problem there is, wala tayong problema sa ano eh, sa startup eh. Ang problema natin, how will these people expand and sustain their businesses? Okay? That's one of the concerns. Okay? Um, you have a lot of YouTube videos that you can watch in terms of expanding and sustaining businesses. However, okay, I think it's more of the choice of people on what to watch, on what to see, on what to hear. Okay, so formal training are needed. Okay, they are very much needed in terms of expanding and sustaining businesses. It doesn't mean to say that you start up a business, it's going to survive the vicious cycle of the business sector. You need the right skill set in order for you to expand your business and in order for you to sustain your operation. Okay? Now, another interesting topic that I want to discuss with everyone is the entrepreneurship in the AI world. So as what I have mentioned during my introduction, we're now geared towards somehow the fifth industrial revolution wherein AI has been taking over and coexisting with us. One good example is this one. Okay. It's from a very popular online magazine, which is entrepreneur.com. And this article, okay, was basically written, or half of this article uh, was written by an artificial intelligence. Okay. So, paano yun? I know for a fact you guys are familiar with ChatGPT. Okay. Some of you might have utilized ChatGPT in writing some of your assignments or getting some ideas from your for your paper. Okay. However, ChatGPT doesn't just focus on that kind of activities lang, no? It's beyond machine learning. It's more of understanding. It's like your personal Google, okay? But they can actually create a different content, no? And basically AI is already integrated in any operation. If AI can be present in journalism, AI is already existing in the business field ever since. Okay? And some of the AI business ideas that you can utilize in the future, no, are as follows. So these are the top five. So automated customer service, no, um, using the chatbots, di ba? Napakadami niyan. If you know how to develop chatbots, napakalaking market po niyan. Virtual assistant, no? So I don't know if some of the students here are working a part-time as virtual assistant. I used to try working as virtual assistant during the pandemic, and it's nice. Actually, it's a very lucrative form of side hustle, we can say, or part-time work. Okay. Um, it's like you guys have to log into a certain website like upwork.com, and then you have to find a job, you have to apply for that one, and then once you get the contract, it's just basically a contract between you and a certain provider. You just have to fulfill some tasks, let's say social media postings and engagement, or you just have to do some basic graphic works, no? Paggawa ng thumbnails, paggawa ng tawag dito, ng content, no? We can also do copywriting, which I usually do. Copywriting ang isa sa mga strengths ko sa virtual assistant, or tawag dito, pagma-manage ng meetings niya or pagma-manage ng email niya, and then you are paid by the hour. So usually they're paying you around pinakamababa siguro $3 per hour, and some are paying even as big as $15, $20 per hour. So imagine that, no? So that's an easy money. and you get to receive that money from either your PayPal account or basically from Upwork, and then you just transfer it to your bank account. And that's it, 'di ba? That's an additional business for you to focus on. And right now here in the Philippines, napakaraming virtual assistant training schools or training centers. Okay, they're teaching you how the basics of social media management, search engine optimization, and that's a good business. Okay, napakalaking negosyo, napaka-lucrative niyan. Especially kung magaling ka na or mahusay ka na pagdating sa pagiging virtual assistant, you can share that knowledge to others who na magkaroon ng potential para parang nagiging agency na rin sila. So parang training school slash agents din sila, headhunters din sila for this trainees that they have. Okay? Automated online services, no? Pag-create ng mga websites na lahat na ng e-commerce sites nandiyan. Natural language processing and text analysis, okay? And also AI marketing, okay? So ngayon, usong-uso na pati contents ay ginagawa na ng artificial intelligence. So dati, when you do your copywriting, basically it has to take you a number of hours. Now you just have to key in some keywords and then let the AI write on its own. Okay? So yeah. However, no matter the amount of artificial intelligence you use in your business, human creativity is the most important skill you will be needing in order for you to sustain your business. Okay? Kahit sabihin mo, ang daming AI solutions na ginamit ninyo para sa negosyo ninyo, it will still be the human creativity, our brain, okay, and our hand ang magsusustain ng negosyo natin. Okay? Now, here are the top 5 skills needed for Filipino entrepreneurs. Number 1, financial management. Okay? A lot of people, especially siguro hindi dito sa business ad tsaka sa mga accountancy students natin, hindi naman to problema because you basically have your Finman subject, di ba? You have your Finman, you have your accounting subjects. But a lot of people would say I don't need to focus on financial management skills because as an entrepreneur, ay pwede naman ako mag-hire ng finance manager. Yeah, that is possible, but you guys should at least know the basics. Okay? Yung simpleng accounting formula na lang, di ba? Assets is equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. Dapat yung alam mo na yon, dapat ay gamay mo na siya. Alam mo na rin kung ano yung accounts na nasa assets, sa liabilities, sa capital, sa expenses, at saka sa income. Okay? You know how to read at least a P&L report, no? Profit and loss report, or your income statement. You know how to read your statement of comprehensive income. You should know how to read your tawag dito, statement of financial position or your balance sheet. You should also know how to read um, cash flow statements. And you should know how to make decisions based on the numbers of your business. Hindi pwedeng hindi niyo alam yung basic noon when you're coming up with your own business. Kasi kung iaasa mo lang lagi yan sa finance manager mo at saka sa accountant mo, sooner or later maloloko ka din. Di ba? Malay mo, matagal ka na pala dapat kumikita, pero sinasabi sa'yo ng finance manager mo, lugi ka na, kailangan mo mag-cut ng cost. Okay? Sometimes, we get to experience that. And when you're running a business, you have to put 100% of your trust to your people. But your trust, okay, 100% of your trust to your people, pero dapat subjective pa din. Dapat objective pa din rather. Dapat objective pa din. Kasi kailangan knowledgeable ka pa rin dun sa mga bagay-bagay or sa ins and outs ng inyong negosyo. Okay? Networking skills, it's very important. Okay? Networking is not just about selling. Okay? Networking is building professional relationships. Okay? So, as a businessman, you have to take tawag dito, you have to always say yes to invitations for networking nights, okay, or visiting different conventions and meeting different people, discussing your business ideas, sharing your vision to them, okay, and coming up with collaboration, okay. Networking is the root of all collaborative work. And take note, as an entrepreneur, you don't just have to focus on your business alone. You have to partner with different institutions and do collaborative engagements. Okay? Networking is very important. Marketing skills. Okay? You should know how to promote. You should know how to create your brand. You should know how to tell the story of your brand. You should know how to come up with a very good narrative, okay, that people will be enticed to come to your brand and purchase your products and services. Next, adaptability and agility. Okay, as an entrepreneur, you should know, or you should be very quick in making decisions, as well as you should know how to create your different plans in order for you to anticipate kapag ganito yung nangyari, meron tayong plan B. Pag ganito nangyari, meron tayong plan C. Okay? Adaptability and agility is a requirement. And also, okay, kung meron tayong IQ, meron tayong EQ, dati meron na rin tayong ngayon tinatawag na AQ. AQ is adversity quotient. As an entrepreneur, a future entrepreneur, you should build a strong adversity quotient. When you say adversity quotient, yung kakayahan ninyong mag-adapt sa kahit anong mangyari sa external factors ng environment. Okay? Kagaya nung nag-pandemic, di ba? Nag-pandemic, ang daming nagsarang negosyo. Pero may mga negosyo nag-thrive, di ba? So, that's basically, those are entrepreneurs with strong AQ, right? Adversity quotient, di ba? Kahit sabihin na natin maraming nagsarang negosyo, 'di ba, during the pandemic, pero yung mga known brands like SM, like Jollibee, 'di ba, McDonald's, they still operate during the time. Nag-close man sila ng ibang branches pero hindi nagsara yung lahat. Okay? So that's basically part of your AQ or adversity coach. And lastly, leadership. Okay? Yung kakayahan ninyo na mag motivate, at the same time, uh, let other people get the job things done or get the things done, 'di ba? That's basically leadership skills. And leadership skills focuses on at least four major leadership styles, no? Your bureaucratic leadership, your democratic leadership, your tawag dito, um autocratic leadership, and your laissez-faire leadership. So it depends on the situation. Be a situational leader. You don't just need to focus on one leadership style. Focus on different. You have to master all of this, at least yung main leadership styles, and do this based on the situation, okay, or circumstance. Okay. Now, I want to highlight what Professor Aligada have mentioned in 2012 when we asked the question, what makes a Filipino entrepreneur unique? Okay. He said that Filipino entrepreneurs have what we might call as street smarts and a great deal of common sense. Okay? This makes us unique because we are basically practical thinkers. We make decisions based on what they know about human nature from experience. They are not only able to come up with good products, but more importantly, they know how to relate their customers to their customers and give what their customer really wants. You really cannot learn such skills from a book or inside the classroom. Okay? So obviously, our street smart ability and our practicality as Filipinos, yan yung unique characteristic natin as entrepreneurs. Okay? And mabilis tayong makasense kung ano ang kailangan ng kapwa natin Pilipino. So, from there, we come up with a business solution. Okay? Now, to end my discussion, here are some of my key takeaways. Number one, everyone is an entrepreneur, but we can only uncover this lucrative human talent when we spend on learning, exploring, and experiencing. Okay? Entrepreneurship does not just improve one's economic stability, but rather it creates more jobs to other people and it creates impact to the community. Technology is a friend and a foe to an entrepreneur. It depends on how you will use it. Okay, and Filipino entrepreneurs are unique. We augment this uniqueness with formal trainings and real life activities. And last but definitely not the least, entrepreneurs embrace the risk associated with it. Entrepreneurs never fail. We only learn from our mistakes. And so with that, maraming salamat po. At mabuhay ang turismo, mabuhay ang mga kanegosyante katulad ko.